predictions indicate that Mozambique's ruling Frelimo party and its presidential candidate are likely to win these polls. That's despite voters' dissatisfaction now with graft and inequality in one of Africa's fastest growing economies that boasts abundant energy reserves. Analysts say these elections provide a unique opportunity for a new president to get the country working and bring wealth to the people.
52-year-old Frederick Sabella has been a taxi driver in Mozambique's capital Maputo for 15 years. On a good day, he makes about 800 rands a day. But he says the cost of petrol and frequent maintenance of his car due to bad roads means what he takes home is not enough.
Now the petrol is very expensive. Yeah, it's very expensive, but the business is normal for mine. About next president, maybe. If he win Mr. News, I think in the life he will be right.
Like Sabella, most Mozambicans expect the ruling Frelimo party and its presidential candidate, Felipe Nyusi, to win this week's elections. The advantages of incumbency and his party's historic dominance have allowed Nyusi to run a better resourced campaign than his main challenger, veteran Renamo opposition leader Afonso Dhlakama. This is despite voters' dissatisfaction with graft and inequality. Outgoing President Armando Guebuza, who's barred by the Constitution from standing for a third term, has come under fire over corruption and deep divisions between rich and poor. The winner of today's polls will be well placed to reap the early rewards of multi-billion-dollar gas and oil developments in Mozambique, which, though poor, is forecast by the IMF to see economic growth of more than 8% this year. Candidates have faced insistent demands from voters that Mozambique's plentiful resources, which besides offshore gas and oil, include huge coal deposits as well as farming and fisheries potential, be used to generate more jobs and higher living standards.
We're coming from a situation in Mozambique that we came from extreme poverty. We get to a point that there came hope and attractiveness of foreign direct investment in Mozambique. Now we're in a position that we understand what do we have. We have population, 23 million people that we can build up on that. We have mineral resources. We have a country that we can develop agriculture to generate food and reduce imports. So now the future is in our hands regarding a strategy. Where do we want to get in the future?
Former liberation movement Frelimo has dominated voting in the ex-Portuguese colony since independence in 1975.
Well, Mweli Masilela is monitoring those elections in Mozambique and we're live to him now. Good afternoon, Mweli, and welcome to the PM News Desk.
A very good afternoon to you and the viewers at home.
Mweli, Mozambicans making their mark today in a crunch election. How is the vote progressing so far?
Well, since morning, since the voting stations opened, the voting has been quite going smoothly. We've also spoke to the National Elections Commission of Mozambique and some of the observer missions that are stationed here to monitor the polls. What they are saying is that their view is that the elections have been smooth so far, but there is only a few incidents that have been reported in the Sofala province. But according to the Elections Commission, these are not incidents that are going to or that may jeopardize the whole process. So we are now at the election center. This is where the media will be given a chance to monitor the results as they trickle in. Remember, in 3 hours' time, the polls will be closing and counting of the votes will start. So we will know from there as to which provinces are leading and which presidential candidates are leading in terms of the vote.
Mweli, what are the expectations of the electorate? I mean, how intense is the desire for change? We know there's a massive wealth gap despite the country's mineral resources, and we've seen fast economic growth in Mozambique, but it's sidestepped the bulk of the population that is still amongst the world's poorest.
Well, I must say that when we spoke to quite a number of people here ever since we came, their biggest issue that they think that it has to be attended in the country is the issue of the economy. Many are saying there isn't enough jobs in the market. Many are saying that quite a number of people, especially like 50% of the population of Mozambique, which is about 10 million people, are living under in less than $1 with less than $1 a day. So those are the biggest challenges. They say they are hoping that the leadership that will take over from this election is going to take care of that. But also, given the fact that there's this discovery of abundant coal and natural reserves in northern parts of Mozambique, many people are saying this is a chance for Mozambique to grow economically. But in order for Mozambique to grow economically, it will need the kind of leadership that will make sure that it prioritizes the people more than themselves.
Mweli, let's talk about a newcomer, the MDM. Well, we know that Frelimo won 49 of the 53 municipalities, but lost Nampula, Beira and Quelimane. These are 3 provincial cities to the Mozambican democratic movement. Is it a sign of times to come, do you think? They do seem to be proving that they are forced to be reckoned with. Perhaps people are just attracted to them because they promise change?
Well, analysts have been saying this again and again to say that they are sure that they are expecting that Frelimo will win the election, but it won't be just a walk in the park, because considering the fact that there is this new political party which was actually formed in 2009, the movement, the Mozambique Democratic Movement, is considered to be one of the fastest growing political parties in the country, and that has been attributed to the fact that it has got a much younger leader, and young people are most interested in the ideology of that leader. So this is a party that is appealing more to the urban vote. As you will know that in the 2013 municipal elections, this party got a victory of over 90% in the Maputo city. So it shows that there is a lot that can be expected from this party again this time around.
The SABC's Mweli Masilela, thank you for your time on the PM News Desk. Now, he's telling us that the vote in Mozambique is indeed moving on smoothly. Polls there close at 7 p.m. tonight, and official results are expected 15 days after polling.